أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. Inshallah, today, what we'll be looking into is concerning the Zakaat'L-Fit'R. The Zakaat'L-Fit'R, inshallah, that is what we'll be looking into. We've discussed about Laylatul Qadr because we are in the last 10 days of Ramadan. So, inshallah, as the Eid al-Fitr is approaching, Zakat al-Fitr is what we are going to look into firstly. And thereafter, if God bring permission, grant us the permission, we'll go into the Eid al-Fitr and look into it based on the present situation of the whole world. Zakat al-Fitr, scholars unanimously agree that it is obligatory. It is an obligatory charity upon every able fasting Muslim. The reason why we are saying able fasting Muslim is those that Allah a little bit enriched to what? To give it out. That is why it is mandatory upon them. It is done with the best raw food of one's locality. The best raw food that is in your area, in where you are living. That is what you will use in giving those that are less privileged. It is not something that it will not be useful for those that you are to give. Give the best thing that you know that is common in wherever you are residing. For example, here in Nigeria, the best food that even the rich and the poor ones are all eating is rice. So the best food to use in giving your Zakat al-Fitr should be what? Should be rice. Then, you should use what we call muddun nabij. That is sawin. And what is this sawin? Your 4 full hands. Your hand like this, you pack the food, the raw food with your full hand. 4 times of it, making one what? Making one muddun nabij. And that is for a what? For a head or per head. That 4 full hand, which is making one muddun nabij, is per 1 head. Which means you will remove it for all those that are under you, whom you are the one feeding, including you yourself. Multiply the number of everybody under you together with you and remove it like that. If you can't get the mud itself, just go by your own hand. 4 full of your hand makes 1 mud, and 1 mud is for 1 head. Allahu Akbar. And this one, scholars also agree that if seeing or looking for those that you are to give it to is now become what? Becoming difficult, you can monetize it and give it to those that are what are working on it. The amilina alayha. Give it to them. They know where to what to look for those that are what are in need of it. Allahu Akbar. And this, according to the Sharia, must be 2 days before the Eid, a day before the Eid, and the last is the eve of Eid day. The tradition, the whole tradition that we used to give it on the Eid day, that one has already been abrogated. The list now is what? Is the eve of Eid day. That is eve of what? The Salah day. Allahu Akbar. And on this, there is one authentic tradition of Abdullah ibn Umar, who related it from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu. This hadith goes like, Haddathana Yahya bin Abdullah bin Muhammad bin Sakan, Haddathana Muhammad bin Jahdam, Haddathana Ismail bin Jahfar, an Umara bin Nafi, an Abihi, an Ibn Umara, radiyallahu ta'ala anhuma. That Ibn Umar, all these are what? Are chains of narrators. From this to this, from this to this, from this down to the collector. Who was who? Ibn Abdullah ibn Umar. Abdullah ibn Umar says, Qala, he says, Farad al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the messenger of Allah, may the peace and blessing of Allah be upon him, mandated us to be what? Removing the Zakat al-Fitr. He mandated Zakat al-Fitr. He made Zakat al-Fitr to be what? To be obligatory. Allahu Akbar. Farad Rasulullah sallallahu Zakatul Fitr sa'an, 1 mud. one measurement, which we call 4 full hand, which is what? 1 mud. Min sha'irin, from what? From sha'ir. The meaning of sha'ir is barley. Barley, because barley was one of the common foods during the era of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now that we are not, barley is not the common food today. You use the most valuable grain. And the most valuable grain of this our present time is rice. You use it. That's why we are saying you should use rice, so that the person you are giving it to will not suffer. Not by giving what? Grain or maize or guinea corn. All those things that are not going to be useful for whom you are giving it to. Give him what he and his family too will be happy with, because the essence of this Zakaat'L-Fit'R is to make those people you are giving it to happy with their family too on that Saturday. So, min sha'irin, from barley or rice, 1 mud, that is sa'in. Or sa'an min tamar, 1 mud of what? Of date tree, that is dabino. Because dabino was part of the what? The common food then. Unlike how we are taking it today, it was food in those days. Allahu Akbar. Alal abdi. It is mandatory upon every servant of Allah. Wal hurri. Or we can say upon every slave. Wal hurri, and upon every free person. That is upon everybody that is under you, and you that you are the what? The one taking care of them. It is mandatory upon zakar wal unsa, upon males and females. It is mandatory upon what? Saghir wal kabir, upon the young ones and the what? The old ones. Minal muslimin, among the Muslims. This is another mistake that some people are making by taking their Zakaat'L-Fit'R to a non-Muslim in the name that maybe that person is suffering. Don't you have your fellow Muslim brother that is more suffering? That is the essence of Zakaat'L-Fit'R. Don't be what? Misunderstanding Islam. So it must be given to what? To the Muslims. Wa amara biha. And the Muslim what? Ordered us that we should be giving it out. And to what deed? We should be giving it out. Qabla khurujin nas ila salat. Before people set out for Salat al-Eid. You should give it out before people set out for Salat al-Eid. Not giving it out on that Eid day. That the person too would not even have proper plan on that thing. Wa kana Ibn Umar. Ibn Umar that related this hadith on his own added that yu'tiha lazina yaqbalunaha. You should give it, or he himself used to give it to those that what? Those that are in need of it. The vulnerable people. وَكَانُوا يُعْتُونَ قَبْلَ الْفِطْرِ. And he used to give it before Eid. بِيَوْمٍ, with 2 days before Eid. With a day before Eid, أو يومين, or 2 days before Eid. This hadith, you will see it in Sahih al-Bukhari. For you to know that Zakaat'L-Fit'R is not something that maybe we just coin in Islam. It's a means of what? Of Allah accepting your fasting and the fasting of all those that are under you. To recap all what we have said, our own stand is that the same above measure that we mentioned concerning what Zakaat'L-Fit'R is to be taken, except with those that this lockdown seriously affected in one way or the other. They shouldn't kill themselves. They should not kill themselves. No any sin on them whatsoever. Allah understands. Allah knows that their intention is to give, but with the present condition is why they are unable to give. No killing of themselves. La yukallifullahu nafsan illa us'aha. May Almighty Allah grant us the understanding. Inshallah, this is all what we have to say concerning Zakaat'L-Fit'R. May Almighty Allah grant all of us the understanding. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.